So, if any of you have watched this channel for any amount of time, you know that yellow anacondas are my absolute favorite species of reptile in the world. Green and yellow anacondas are my favorite reptiles, and yellows are my absolute favorites. They're not the friendliest, but they are the most beautiful reptiles in the world, in my personal opinion. And today, we're going to be upgrading my yellow anaconda into this bin right here. So, I've had my yellow anaconda about 9 months. He's not as big as most 9-month-old yellow anacondas, just because he went on like a 4-month food strike. So, yeah. So, I'm going to get this enclosure cleaned out really well, get a good water bowl in it. I have some nice fake plants. I don't have a hide right now, but I have one coming in the mail. It's going to be here day after tomorrow, which isn't a big deal. He never actually really uses his hides. I always find him burrowed into the substrate because he likes to do that a lot. And yeah, let's get this thing set up. I'm so excited to finally have this animal down in the reptile room. Because he went off of food for so long, I had taken extra time to take him down here because I wanted to make sure that nothing was wrong with him before I moved him into the reptile room. Now, it's been a couple months since then. He's eating regularly, and he's just as feisty as ever, so I'm going to bring him down. Alright, so this is the mulch that I'm going to be using. It's no-float cypress mulch. I love this stuff. This is the only cypress I ever buy. It's like $3 to $4 for this big old bag of it, whereas if you buy Forest Floor, which is the exact same thing, it's going to be $20 for a bag that might be half the size. And I love this for anacondas. It's really good for burrowing. It holds humidity really well. But it doesn't necessarily get too wet. Yeah, so we're going to get this in that bin. And I actually want to show you. So this bin has close to the same amount of floor space as his other one. It's a little bit more. But I wanted to get more height on it because his bin is about this tall. And from my experience, yellow anacondas, especially, if you give them the opportunity, they will take advantage of climbing space. So I want to get some stuff in here for him to climb on. And he's only going to be in this bin until he goes up into the retic enclosure. The retic 6-foot enclosure is going to be built in the next month or two. Maybe a little more because I actually had the opportunity to buy another animal, a very expensive animal. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, he is about 4.5 feet long, 4.5 feet long, so 4 foot's okay for him for next month or two. But he's going to get a 6-foot vivarium that's 2 feet tall, plenty of branches screwed into it, just like I screwed this one in for him to climb on. But then the anaconda will go into this enclosure. And I'm also going to build another 4-foot enclosure for my berm once all of that is together. Oh, by the way, if this is your first video, they're only on paper towels because I've had mites in here for a while. Mites are finally gone, which is another reason that I didn't move the anaconda down here like a month or two ago, because I didn't want him to get snake mites. But yeah, all the mites are completely gone, so I'm also going to give them substrate later today or tomorrow. Alrighty, there's a good couple-inch layer of cypress mulch there. So the next thing we have to do is start decorating it. Okay, if you remember that video that I did a couple months back, I'll put a link to it, where I showed you guys how to properly clean enclosures. These little like bamboo sticks came from that, so that's what I'm going to prop up in here for him to climb on. So, set them up, just kind of something like that. And when I put his water bowl in here, I'll be able to wedge them in here better. I'm also going to put a couple of fake plants in here. Have this nice fake green plant. And this pretty little red one that I'm going to put right here. Just like that. Then I'm going to put his water bowl in here, and this enclosure will be ready to go. Okay, so while I was coming downstairs, my dumb monkey brain dropped his water bowl and it broke, so I'm improvising with this just for now. I'm going to kind of dig the substrate out of the way. Let it go right there. That is definitely big enough, though, still for him to soak. No problem. And I also decided I'm going to put this slightly larger leaf in here as well, just like over here, because that's actually big enough for him to hide under. He's so little right now. And the enclosure is all set up. So, I think it's about time for the Annie. What do you guys think? I just forgot something very important, so I just removed the water bowl. There, the quality's not dead there now. This is my mite treatment, so he doesn't have mites, but this will kill anything that would come into his enclosure, just to be safe. You can spray this all over their enclosure. And then close it up. And leave that for about a quarter of an hour. Alright, I forgot to hit record when I was moving him into his enclosure. But there he is. He's just gonna dig down now, I'm sure. He has a heat mat there. Yep. There he goes, he's just burrowing down. But he is a beautiful animal. Some light on him. There you go, you can see him much better now. Just exploring his new home. Yeah, so that's Nettlebrand. Such a derpy face. And they have that brilliant yellow on their sides and their underbellies. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button, share it with your friends. If you love anacondas, definitely subscribe and turn on notifications because there's going to be plenty more content where that came from. Check the links below. You'll find the links to the Discord server, to the Patreon, and a link to go support US Ark. Without US Ark, I wouldn't be able to own that yellow anaconda over there because people are terrified of the word anaconda. But without any further ado, one more video coming out before Christmas. But if you don't see any of those, happy holidays everybody, and have a very happy new year. Peace out, YouTube.